Although this is going to be a relatively short video.
Prestwick Tower ASXGS ready for departing straight out at runway 30.
We're finally playing Flight Simulator 2024, the technical alpha test. Now, this hasn't been without its issues so far. We have had a lot of control issues, and it's going to take a little bit of ironing out to get it sorted to the point where it's really working properly. Had a lot of problems with the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, really not responding as expected. So one of the main issues here is every time I've loaded into a new aircraft, I don't have any controls bound, I need to copy them over, which in itself isn't too much of an issue, but it'd be nice if that was just a global setting, and I don't know if maybe I'm just not figured it out properly. But we're flying the F-18 Hornet out of Prestwick, which is near to where I live, so it's the local airport. So it's pretty nice to see, and it also is looking really good. I've noticed as well, I was flying around at night previously just to see how things looked, and it looked fantastic at night. There's ships that you can see out here as well. You can see the ferry that goes over to the Isle of Arran over there in front of us. But it just looks really nice, and the tree coverage is, wow, it's brilliant. It looks a lot more realistic. So it's been pretty nice so far. Once I managed to figure out some of the flight control issues, definitely a lot better. And I thought, you know what, what's the best way to get a quick view, quick fly around, see how things are, and fly north up the Ayrshire coast, and then fly down low through Glasgow, along the Clyde. So we're going to get there shortly, and for now we're just going to have a nice little scenic view, and we'll see how the game looks. So far I'm pretty impressed. It really does look so much nicer, and I know this is just the technical alpha, but it really, it's impressive already. And I'm pretty sure if this is just what this technical alpha is like, the full game is going to be far better. We're going to have to wait and see. Tried a little bit of the career mode. I don't know what it was, the Cessna really wasn't controlling as I was expected. It's maybe just some teething issues from when I first flew in it, and the instructor maybe does something, I don't know. But the controls were really light and very sensitive. It's been fine since I've used the Hornet and I've used the Cub Crafters, but it was a bit of a strange experience. Overall though, I'm really enjoying it so far. The ground textures look so much better. They do seem to have like a lot more variation than what they used to. Like it used to be kind of, if you look down here, this would just be all green and nothing. But you can see fields, and you can see trees where trees should be, roads where roads should be, things like that. Pretty nice. And one other thing that I've noticed that was pretty cool was you can actually see a lot of the heliports now. So the hospitals around this area, you can see them, and presumably we're going to be able to land at those when dropping off patients from search and rescue missions as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that out and just being able to fly from like my local home base. I think the closest that I could get was in Campbelltown, which is near or on the Isle of Arran. So not a lot of airports or not a lot of areas in central Scotland to use as your starting base, but I think that might change in the full game, and if not, well, it'll just have to do. It's good enough, and there's enough of a variety there. There's some maybe a bit bigger airports. I think they had Cumbernauld, and then I think it was Dundee, maybe, I think. Or in fact, it might have been Perth Airport, because it's not obviously the biggest in the world. So some options, which is quite nice. I will try out a little bit more of the career mode soon and maybe try and get a video together for it, but I don't know how far you can go in it. And I think the technical alpha finishes tomorrow. It's currently 3 minutes to 12, right now, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, right now we're starting a full burn run, and we are going to go fly as far as we can into Glasgow city centre. The glitchy looking... The game freezes here for a moment. The glitchy looking camera work is because I'm trying to enable the Tobii eye tracker. Previously, there's a little boat there we just flew past, that's quite cool. But previously we had quite a bit of an issue with disabling the eye tracker, and then somehow I've managed to disable it and not be able to re-enable it. And they don't seem to have the settings for the eye tracker that you do in Flight Sim 2020 as well. So there's not really like, I can't change it from eye tracking to head tracking only, which is what I used before because it was much more comfortable. I need to check and see if it's in the settings, but I have looked and it wasn't the most user-friendly experience, to be honest. Look at this lovely terrain here. You'll notice like some of the buildings and things, they still don't look fantastic, but they look brilliant compared to what I remember from Flight Sim 2020. And I think that just with the enhanced ground textures, it is a lot nicer. And I think that when you're looking at like the river and the side of it here, like the banks, it's a bit less weird looking. There's a lot of positives for me from this so far. Being just a technical test, I'm really looking forward to trying out the full game. The one thing that's going to happen to me here very soon is I am going to run out of fuel, and then for some unknown reason, as soon as the Hornet runs out of fuel, the controls become completely unresponsive. But we managed to get a good bit through the River Clyde here. Now I'm not sure if this is actually a smokestack or a chimney that's actually in Glasgow, or if that's just what the placeholder for the science centre is. I think that might be the case. Really nice though. The motorway there. And now we're going to take a nice right kind of bank here, and we're going to come up to the end of where the river is, and it's going to be a bit too sharp to follow, so we're going to go a bit crazy. It would have been nice to have the eye tracker working at that point. So my aim at this point here was to try and get back to Glasgow Airport, which is just off the kind of 1 o'clock. You can see the green marker for it. And we're about to lose the engines altogether. And then you're going to see what I mean. The engines turn off, and then as soon as that happens, the controls just seize up. You can see that it's now throttling itself down. And you'll be able to hear the clunking noise of someone desperately trying to control an aircraft. It did fly for a little while, and then as soon as that cut off, like that was it. It just starts to really fly itself. And it stays in the air for a little while. And you can see me kind of desperately scrambling for the ejection seat handle. Obviously that doesn't exist in this game. It actually looked as if for a moment there, even with the engines off, it was allowing me to control it briefly, but you can see now, like, that's completely uncontrolled. It's pitching itself up. You can hear that clunking noise there, that's me trying to roll or pitch the aircraft. No response, of course. So, my first experience in Flight Simulator 2024. Is it the most user-friendly thing in the world? Probably not right now. And I think there's a lot of problems to iron out. Like the controls, they're not that great. But I think with a little bit of fine-tuning and with, well, playing around with the settings will probably be fine. But it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. A lot of the keybinds have changed as well, so if you're used to certain ones, you are going to be completely lost. Even for the landing gear, I don't believe that's G anymore, which is a bit unsettling. But, again, it's just teething issues. You get used to these things over time. Clearly here, just clicking everything. I just wanted to see really what you could actually press. Turns out you can press a lot more buttons in this plane than you could before.
Fuel low.
But we're going to crash very soon. And it's not going to be a very pretty one.
Fuel low.
It's going to be right into the side of a
Fuel
hill.
low.
Don't really give it away about too much, but...
Fuel low. Fuel low.
Very strange bug though. I'm not sure if that's just, you know... I don't think that happens in the real aircraft. Like, if you run out of fuel, I'm pretty sure
Fuel
you're
low.
able to keep controlling it. Because who would want the aircraft to crash into the ground like this?
Fuel low.
There we go.
Fuel
Rather
low.
large crash there. Now, yeah, very, very big fan so far. Teething issues, like I said, and hopefully within the next month or so before release, all those issues are going to be ironed out. And then, of course, here the game crashes on quitting to desktop. So, another bug. Had a few. Not too many. I will try and get a bit more used to it. But if you've made it to this point, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy Flight Sim 2024, the technical info whilst you still can. Have a nice day, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.